Every year, we look forward to what our first guest has created for Halloween. As usual, she doesn't disappoint and brings us an adorable character from the Italian seas. Let's welcome back the uber-talented Zoe Hyman, local makeup and special effects artist. You look fabulous.
Thank you.
So I alluded to the animation that this was the inspiration for your costume. So tell us a bit more about it.
Luca is the movie, and they had this one scene of just them in this as sea monsters, and it's just the way there's subtle little scales that you don't see unless they're in sunlight, and they're the entire theme behind the movie of being different and just any of that, it's a very cute movie. I had to do something based off of it.
You know, I haven't watched animation recently, but when I was doing my research for this interview, I was looking at it, and it's a really sweet story. It's the idea of two kind of Italian little sea monsters, right? And they seem very sweet and adorable. They're not the scary kind.
They just want to know what's happening outside of their own world that they're always inside of.
Well, you work with such a wonderful palette when it comes to these characters too. I mean, I love the blues and the greens and the turquoises. It's so gorgeous. So how did you do all of this?
Well, first I started with a base coat of the colors to get that perfect fade. And then from there, I latexed on these little scales that I made by just dropping little small drops of latex on a plate and cut them and painted them. And after that, pretty much all of it kind of came together. I painted on smaller scales every once in a while, so it would kind of blend everything together. But it was a very easier and also very bright and colorful makeup.
It is. I love it. And what I don't know, people can't see unless you get a close up, but your eyes.
I do have
tell us
contacts.
about those contacts.
These contacts were given to me by a friend who I buy them from, and they are very easy to wear, but I could barely see, only a little slither. Everything has a veil, a slight hue to them.
Right. So you want to go out with a friend if you're going to be wearing these contacts, and don't drive with them on.
No, please don't.
No. And tell me about the fins behind your ears.
The fins are made out of Q-tips and latex and toilet paper. So each of those little pieces are Q-tips, and then there's toilet paper laid on top of it with latex on top to make sure it all sticks together, and it's on a plastic headband, so they are not attached to my head. They're so I could put them on, flip my hair over, and wear them all the day.
That's great. And then you've got the hair to match, which is just fabulous.
You don't have to dye your hair green for this.
But I've seen you work with toilet paper before, and you have a very creative way of using kind of these everyday products in an expert way to create things. And I remember you did something before for us, which was like peeling skin that was toilet paper. And so what are some of the typical materials you tend to work with? So typical materials would be glue sticks, washable glue sticks, or just washable glue, latex always, unless you're allergic, which there's other alternatives, toilet paper, Q-tips, and also cotton swabs. So majority of the peeling skin is always peeled cotton swabs dipped in latex and put on, because they're always going to give that droopy effect. Oh, wow. And you are pretty much self-taught. Yes. And we've talked about this before, but for our viewers who have not had the pleasure of seeing your work in the past, how did you get started? Why did you want to get into special effects makeup? Well, when I was a kid, I used to draw on myself with Sharpies. And on top of that, I used to do temporary Sharpie tattoos with my dad. And I loved making myself look like I had rips and the muscle showing through my skin just with Sharpies. And once I found out that you could do that with 3D with maybe like glue and a little bit of toilet paper on top, it just blasted off from there. And then from there I realized I could make an entire alien. I could do like a whole face. I could make myself look like Mojo Jojo from the Powerpuff Girls. I could do whatever I wanted. That's amazing. So what have you been working on lately? Because we're always interested in your career. You've blossomed. We've watched you graduate high school. Yes. And here you are. You're an adult like the rest of us. So what are you doing? What is your plan? Well, recently I've just been attending a bunch of cons when I can. COVID definitely put a damper on things. But I've been doing a bunch of paintings, and I'm going back to school at Trident to do 3D animation because I'd never touched upon it before. I thought it'd be fun. Oh, that sounds exciting. Do you think you're going to keep up with the makeup? And I will definitely this is my career. This is what I want to do forever. Well, you should. You have such a unique talent for this. Thank you. So are you wanting to work in the movie industry eventually? I would love to work in the movies. I've done a few commercials around here. Yeah. But yes, I would love to do some sort of short films or movies. My dream, of course, is always to work on a Stephen King film because horror
horror is always fun for the special effects world.
Horror's where it's at. So Halloween obviously is like your favorite.
It is. It's my
holiday,
favorite.
right?
I'm very busy this Halloween, which is the first in a bit since COVID.
Yes. So you are for hire. So people
I
who
am.
want professional makeup done on them, you do that. How do
I'm-
people find out more information?
Well, you could always go through my Instagram or my Facebook, and you could also email me. But I'm always up for any Halloween or any non-Halloween makeup look you would like to do.
Yeah, so you do non-Halloween as well. So
Yes,
just
I've
glamour.
done a few glamour. I've done a few birthdays and things like that. So
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. You're wonderful, Zoe.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry, Luca. Luca
yes,
today.
Luca.
Thank you so much for coming on. And happy Halloween.
yes, happy Halloween! It's my favorite year.
Yes, yay. We're back after this.